Retro Boy here. Welcome to part 3 of Spongebob Season 7 Retrospective or Part Review. This time we're going to be talking about the Legends of Bikini Bottom. Woo! Yes, the Legends of Bikini Bottom was a 6-part miniseries filled with legends from Bikini Bottom that and it leads to some exciting episodes to talk about. Half what I mean exciting is that one of them is only exciting while the others are half hit or miss. The first one to bat is the monster who came to Bikini Bottom. Patrick befriends a monster. Yeah, this type of episode doesn't work with me. It's boring and pretty forgettable. It's just them just laughing in the beginning of the episode, in the middle of the episode, and it kind of doesn't lead. And as an Aaron Springer episode, yeah, it kind of sucks. Wasted potential on a monster character. I'm so glad we have Woke Attack in Season 7 because that episode is the true monster theme episode of Season 7 compared to this episode. Welcome to the Bikini Bottom Triangle. The characters get transported to the Bikini Bottom Triangle filled with mermaids and other junk. This is a great episode. 9 out of 10. I really like most of this episode. After a lot of hit or miss episodes from Back to the Past to this, it feels like a breath of fresh air because this might be the best Legends of Bikini Bottom episode, objectively. And I don't need to explain myself why this one works, because I think everybody has already talked about that already. So I'll move on to the next one. The Curse of the Hex. This is the only Legends of Bikini Bottom episode that didn't even air until 5 months later in June of 2011. Which still confuses me today, because how come the other episodes aired in January, but this one aired in June? Was it because Nickelodeon forgot this episode, or they just didn't air this episode? I'm confused. Anyway, the Curse of the Heck is about this curse happening of the Krusty Krab after Mr. Krabs causes it by not giving the hagfish Krabby Patties, which I think is deserved karma because Mr. Krabs is too cheap and grumpy, and I kind of think it's justified deservedness when he comes to when his money gets burned, and it's due to the curse, and the curse actually being lifted to the Krusty Krab, so I think it's mostly deserved. However, that's where the episode kind of stops being interesting. You see, it kind of plays out like a normal episode, and it kind of doesn't feel too special. But I can see what they were trying to do, though. The third act of the episode is definitely the best part of the episode, but yeah, this is one of those cases where if you like the episode or not, it kind of depends on how you feel about it. Overall, 5 out of 10. The Main Drain. This is one of those episodes that has so many plot holes in it that it's ridiculous. The episode is about SpongeBob and Patrick trying to find this drain plug that could suck Bikini Bottom into it, but here's the problem. It's confusing as all heck in the middle and from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode. Firstly, let's talk about one of the plot holes is that how is Mr. Krabs and Plankton still freaking alive after the plug got plugged up by them? Shouldn't they be dead by this point? And Bikini Bottom? Unless if it was reversed, then there's no sense that Bikini Bottom would still be there. And why is the plug still there if it was pulled decades ago? And why is this episode so insistent of having SpongeBob and Patrick walk around and that's it? It doesn't feel adventurous. If they just made an adventure episode, that would be fine. But the fact that they didn't drives me nuts. Fun fact, this was the second episode of the Legends of Bikini Bottom anthology that aired in this event of Legends of Bikini Bottom in January of 2011. And this was the... Sponge Kano was the first episode I have seen that was a brand new premiere ever. Because even though New Fish in Town and Big Sister Sam aired a few weeks prior, I didn't get to see them on first airing. Or I did, but this was the very first SpongeBob special that I saw as a kid. So, yeah, as a baby. But and also the ending of this episode is also confusing. Explain to me why does there have a plot twist ending where it revealed to be a bedtime story? Like, why was that necessary? I'm pretty sure that was just for a quick joke. And that's it. Yeah, this episode has too many plot holes that it just in problems that I have to force myself to give it a 2 out of 10. Or a 3 out of 10. And it's not even close from that. And sorry, but the next episode, Trench Billies will also get the same treatment. Trench Billies is one that is basically about Sponge and Patrick getting tangled up in this Trench Billy family. And honestly, I didn't find it very engaging, and it's only a 4 out of 10 because I don't really feel like getting too upset with this one as much. Or maybe it's a 2 out of 10, but it's lower than the main drain. But I still think it's still bad, but I don't think it's as bad as the other season 7 episodes that are in my bottom 5. Sponge Kano is one that is very interesting because it was supposed to be originally a special at first, according to the SpongeBob originals. According to the outline of the episode being leaked online on leaked online on the SpongeBob SquarePants wiki. And Sponge Kano still does handle its 11-minute runtime, but I wish it was faster paced, personally, to make it better. But I do think it's still decent, though. 6 out of 10. Nothing to really say that's bad about it. Though it does reuse a part of Boating Buddies, but that's really it. About SpongeBob now helping him under no circumstances is similar to what Boating Buddies did in the middle at the end of the episode of that episode. But that was only one element of the episode, because at least it doesn't feel like Boating Buddies, at least. It does try to be different from Boating Buddies, so yeah. And it's also original, too, so let's just move on to the Great Patty Caper. Now, this is the one I wanted to get to the most one. I absolutely adore the Great Patty Caper. This is my favorite season 7 episode, and it's for good reasons. Mostly, I love the story of SpongeBob and Patrick going on this train to find the secret formula at a vault in a bank. Sounds like a cool A word idea that the writers came up with. Sure, Plankton was added into this plot, but I don't mind his presence here because it adds some action to the episode. And the mystery itself is pretty good, honestly. Though, I have to explain why does the title feel similar to Patty Caper from season 6? Because I get that I guess they forgot that they made an episode called Patty Caper, and they just call it the Great Patty Caper. Why not call it Mystery with a Twistery? Wouldn't that make more sense? I guess that's because of the promotional name, not the real name. Kind of like Who Bought What Pants was for Whatever Happened to Spongebob, or Where's Gary for Have You Seen the Snail and Lost in Time for Dungeons and Dragons, I believe. And even the pre-movie specials had alternative names, but still. Overall, The Great Patty Caper is one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. 10 out of 10. Literally my number one on my season 7 retro ranking. That sinking feeling. Yeah, this one is just honestly pretty bad. It's another 2 out of 10, and I don't need to explain why, but I just feel bored by this one. It's boring, forgettable, and just, it's not, at least I will say it's annoying, but it's not annoying too annoying to its audience. I can see if some people like this episode or think it's mid. I'm looking at Luke Vaughn because Luke Vaughn considered it the ultimate mid-word episode, even if I disagree, because I don't think it deserves to be the mid-word episode of season 7 especially. Because I feel like there's another episode that is deserved to be the mid-word episode, which that episode being the masterpiece. Or, or I feel like if you want to call it a mid-word episode, the mid-word, I kind of would go to, never mind, let's move on. Karate Star. Karate Star is a episode I see a lot of. Honestly, I haven't seen this one get talked about a lot, but the reason why I'm talking about it and why I like it so much is because it reminds me a lot of Karate Choppers. And honestly, as a karate themed episode, I don't think it's bad. I think my least favorite one of the whole karate episodes is probably Squid Defense, because that episode was kind of slower paced, and I feel like it was slapdashed, which I understand if people hate Karate Star. I mean, the only people I have seen reviews of this episode was Mysterious Mr. Enter. Yeah, I'm mentioning him, and Luke Vaughn, who gave this a 4 out of 10 episode in his ranking of season 7, which is his least favorite season of the entire show. Though, I'm not complaining. I can see where people say this episode is either a Patrick's a prick episode or a episode that is boring as all heck. But let's just move on to Barry in Time. Barry in Time is about the characters getting stuck in a time capsule. You think that the characters would have got stuck. It's basically a diet version of Wishing You Well, and even though it's a diet version, I still think it's decent. 6 out of 10. I don't think I can say too much about this one. I'm ending the video off with the musical Doodle episode, cause do 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 do. Just listen again to the musical Doodle. I'm gonna be singing I'll be singing that tune in my earworm bit. Anyway, Enchanted Enchanted Tiki Dreams. Ooh ah ooh ah ooh tiki tiki. This episode is about SpongeBob and Patrick realizing their mistake in leaving Squidward alone, and wants to make it up to him by, you guessed it, giving him a paradise to live in for a while. Honestly, I think this concept of the episode is really good. I really think it's one of my favorite season 7 episodes, right next to The Great Patty Caper. Definitely deserves a 9 out of 10. Because really, I think it's really great. It's kind of just nice to see characters doing something for another character. Even if it's only for a little bit before the episode, concludes. But like I said, I really like Atlantic Tiki Dreams, and I think it's definitely one of the better season 7 episodes. So that's, yeah. Embracive Side. Man, this one is kind of a good one to talk about because, oh boy, I can say a lot. Abrasive Side is the SpongeBob roasts people episode, and as a roasted episode, as a kind of episode where SpongeBob literally the Abrasive Side roasts people, just makes me laugh every time I see it. It's funny to see one of your lovable characters just get so just they just it just their bad side happens and it just makes it funny. The only scene I didn't like in this episode was with SpongeBob's grandma because it's kind of disrespectful to say that to your grandma to because you know it's always good to help your grandma, not disrespect them. But I guess that SpongeBob did help her first. It did happen twice in the episode, so I guess SpongeBob did technically. I guess he should have not had his abrasive sight snap at his grandma like that. To be fair, or Patrick, to be fair, either. But I guess I could excuse Patrick because he left without SpongeBob to Glove World. While and Sandy did kind of deserve it because honestly, even Mr. Krabs, if you think about it, honestly, I feel like a lot of the characters kind of deserve the roast that Sponge's abrasive side says because I think that the abrasive side's mouth is just comedy gold. It doesn't help that also SpongeBob learns the wrong lesson in that keep being who you are instead of changing yourself, which is not a really a which I think the lesson should have been is that stand up for yourself, not let people push over you, which which if you want a comparison between a My Pony episode putting your hoof down, that episode was more bad, I could say. Because there's no doubt that abrasive side is way better, but I think the lesson of putting your hoof down is way better than the abrasive side. I will give that credit. But abrasive side is way more funnier, and I would prefer abrasive side SpongeBob over being Fluttershy. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Don't call me out on that. I'm not giving the middle finger anyway. I'm just like pointing that out right now. Do 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 round and round and like it spins all day. Listen again, it takes you far away. Trying to stop is brutal. So just listen now to my musical doodle. Ah, yes. Musical doodle or earworm. I meant earworm. This is a relatable episode. Listening to your favorite song on repeat is something I do with Best Day Ever because Best Day Ever is my favorite song of the entire show. Just saying that right now. And Musical Doodle is too catchy and just too bouncy for me. I like it so much. Honestly, I hum to it like this. I know that song. I know that song is kind of like catchy in the episode. The song that ran from his back again. You wonder when the madness will ever end. Think you control that is way too hard. It is way too hard. Every time it plays like electric shock. It's an electric charge. Anyway, musical doodle, or should I say, sorry, earworm is a really great episode and definitely one of my season 7 favorites. 10, I think it's a 9 out of 10. Really good episode, catchy song, and I really like it. Or no, 10 out of 10. Number 3 on my season 7 ranking, and also Abrasive Side being number 2 on my list. So, I'm gonna end this video with singing Musical Doodle again. Now you're infected by the musical doodle, like electric charge. Now you're infected by the musical doodle. Do. Listen again to the musical doodle. Listen again to the musical doodle. Anyways, so that ends part 3 of the SpongeBob Season 7 review. Now, part 4 is going to get interesting because I'm going to have to review You Do Not Know Sponge. And also Big Sister Sam. Oh boy, you're not gonna like how I say Big Sister Sam, because I know how much that episode is hated by the community so freaking much. Oh boy, I'm gonna get a lot of hot takes with this episode because, yep, you know what? This is gonna be a spoiler for my Big Sister Sam review, but okay, sorry. Okay. You guys are not gonna like what I say about Big Sister Sam because, I guess I could say is that, it's not as bad as other people think it is. Oh, Luke Vaughn is gonna I think, because there is some people out there that takes this episode way too seriously. And I think I can point out, and I'm pointing them out right now so I don't mention them again. Like Mysterious Mr. Enter, which, go watch his the top 10 worst Patrick episodes, because his list is pretty outdated, personally. I feel like that he might even not think about those episodes again because he only reviewed them once and don't need to review them again. And Luke Vaughn had a pretty big meltdown with Big Sister Sam's review because god dang, he had a pretty big meltdown with this episode. And I just feel bad for him because he has to review Big Sister Sam. Just look at this clip. See, this is why I think I feel bad for... Sometimes YouTubers make me feel bad for them. Because, one... It makes me feel bad for them because they have to deal with one episode that they absolutely cannot stand without any concern... Without... I mean, just look at this clip because he definitely shows a lot of his anger on Big Sister Sam for sure. Which, yep. And it was pretty lengthy too, as well.
That's it! That's all this is! Do you think the writers in the writer's room when the storyboards were being pitched for this episode, do you think that they were laughing and cheering and having a...
Here's the ultimate part where he gets the most serious I have seen a YouTuber get with one episode.
Hey, what else? What? Oh, you're mad because I called it worse than, like, fucking Yours, Mine, and Mine, or Grandma's Secret Recipe? Get over yourself. This is my goddamn opinion, dude. And I need to, like, close it down, man.
I'm not gonna skip.
Prove that Spongebob was just a hop, a skip, and a jump away to becoming, like, an actual content farm.
It's not the worst part. He gets to... Yeah, he may be my favorite. He may be my favorite SpongeBob reviewer, but I can tell when a person goes. I feel like that this might be the most hyperbolic I ever seen a person go through, and I just sort of feel bad for him.
What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? Okay, I'm done with the segment. Fucking one episode left. Please make this video end.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's just...
Yeah,
wow.
I had a mental breakdown in the last segment. That was me. I'd rather completely own up to it rather than inserting a pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, don't worry, Luke. Don't worry, Luke Vaughn. You're not the only one who actually would go insane over a episode. That's literally me with Choir Boys. Because I don't want to explain why I hate Choir Boys that much, because literally I would go insane over Choir Boys if I ever have to watch that stinking episode ever again. Anyways, let's move on, please. It's so cold. Anyway, as I was saying, Luke Vaughn is still a great YouTuber that I really enjoy. And honestly, I don't have any complaints about him. Well, besides his, a little bit of nitpicking being a little too much. I get it. I get that nitpicking episodes can be a little... I feel like some of his ratings to episodes are a little too harsh. Like, for example, I don't fully agree that Home Sweet Rubble deserves a 3 out of 10. But I guess I can see why he hates the episode, though. Or, a matter of fact, Face Freeze as well, too. Because I was kind of thinking that it would be ranked low due to... I feel like he would rank it higher than at 4 out of 10 because... I thought originally it would be like 8 out of 10 because I'm pretty sure that he would honestly care about those expressions than the whole episode itself. Because, as you think about it, what if Luke Vaughn likes the wacky expressions that people say about the post-sequel era? Which, not gonna lie, I also really do enjoy those wacky expressions too. I really like the faces, though. I know that some people may not agree, but I have been drawing art of the Face Freeze faces, and I will say they look pretty good, honestly. Don't complain about it. I'll probably show you what they look like. I'm trying to show you all of it. yeah, that's when basically I draw those. Anyways, I think that ends up this video. So thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and follow me for part 4 because I'm making this easier for you guys to listen to. So yeah, hope you guys watch the video, like and subscribe, follow me on other things, and I'll see you next one. Cartoon Retro Boy is out.